Hello and good afternoon or good morning, good
Hi,
evening,
JC.
depending where you are. Hello, Lily.
Hi, JC. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining. And Happy New Year, actually, I just
Happy New
realized.
Year.
For those who celebrate, obviously not for everyone, but yeah. A new start.
Yes, so we hope you are ready for this 2026 New Year challenge. Every year, the counter goes back to zero when we start the year.
Yeah. Get to turn over new leaf, create new goals, have a fresh start. And it's the first webinar of this year for us. I don't know if it's your first one though, JC. Have you had?
Yeah, it's really the first one,
It
and
is.
it will be going up exponentially, I would say, in this month.
One of many.
Yes. And
Yeah.
additionally, also for DiveAssure, we'll be at the Paris Dive Show end of this week on Thursday through Sunday. The week after, we will be in Germany for the boat show.
Yeah. Yeah, I will be there too. So we get to meet in
Absolutely.
person
Yeah, yeah, always
once a
good.
year. Yeah, have a catch up.
All
Uh,
right. So I would say let's start, right?
yeah, okay. Then I'm going to share my screen with you. Just bear with me a moment. Uh,
It's loading, it's coming.
yeah.
All right, we can see the slides.
Yeah. Okay, great. All right, thank you. Yeah, so thank you again to everyone for joining today. Our webinar, New Year, New Strategy, How to Strengthen Your Dive Center's Revenue and Reputation with DiveAssure. So let's take a look. Today we're going to be looking at why DiveAssure, what makes us unique, partner benefits, what you could earn, the Start Dive plan, partner webinars, the DLP plan, and we will summarize a little bit at the end. So let's start with why DiveAssure. Partnering with DiveAssure has many benefits. A partnership with DiveAssure is built on safety, novelty, and excellence. We always aim to improve our services to both members and partners. We're continuously working on new features, resources, and we take into account your feedback. So if you're a DiveAssure partner and you're working with us and you say you need something particular to help you to promote the plans or to refer your divers, we will take it on board and we will see what we can do. We have different plans. So we have our diving accident coverage. We have very special dive and travel plans, which is a combination of a typical travel insurance with diving accident coverage included. And on top of that, we have lots of other diving benefits that we cover, such as lost diving days, trip cancellation due to weather, lost diving luggage. So not just your typical luggage, but if you have additional diving luggage with you and things like that. We have member benefits. So our members don't just get the coverage. They also have access to a member store where they can access discount codes, some free items, and obviously all diving related products. And we also have our Start Dive plan, which is the free and automated plan for our students or your students, which you're welcome to use to give your student that little bit of extra service, extra safety. And also it is the easiest way for you guys to upgrade or create a proper paid referral. So it's kind of a nice marketing tool for you guys to use as well. If we start to talk about how important diving accident coverage is from the moment your diver has their first dive, then they're more likely or most likely to be covered for the rest of their diving career. We have partner programs for dive centers, center operators, and also we have a special program for dive leaders. So if your dive center has dive pros as staff, and it's not just yourself, you're not just a one-man show, then you could also sign up for the DLP program. What makes us unique? Our plans are built by divers for divers. We are all a team of very avid divers or diving professionals, so we offer specialized expertise. We have a global reach with local support for partners worldwide. We have primary coverage options available, so we're not just a secondary insurance coverage. We have industry-leading travel programs that are tailored for divers, including specialized liveaboard coverage, lost diving days, and more. We provide direct payment to hyperbaric chambers, which means no out-of-pocket costs for you or your divers. We offer global and world-leading emergency assistance. And for any dive centers that work with SSI or SDI, we have a seamless integration through an API connection for students, which means if you register a student with SSI or SDI, they can automatically get the start dive plan with DiveAssure, and it's no additional work for you involved. When your divers are safe, you can focus on what you do best, which is creating unforgettable experiences. So let's take a look at some of the partner benefits. Protection and retention. As a DiveAssure partner, you protect your customers. You're offering a great service to your divers. You're not only protecting your customers, but you're also covering your own risk. As a protected diver is much less likely to point the blame at the dive center if their accident has been covered. Customer loyalty and trust. The diver knows that you care about them. And peace of mind for everyone, for your divers and for yourselves. Attractive referral fees. So there's no cost to being a DiveAssure partner. There's no sign-up fee. You just let us know that you want to become a partner, and we create the account for you and send you the information that you need to get started. There's minimal effort required, and there's a high earning potential. Payouts are quarterly. So we pay out at the end of each quarter, once a minimum amount has been reached. And you don't only earn on the initial referral, you earn on renewals and upgrades. So if you have a diver, they did maybe a week's diving with you, purchased a Dive Safe, which is our diving accident plan, for 1 week. And then maybe a couple of months later, they go diving again and they renew the coverage, or they purchase a different plan, you would continue to earn off of that diver. Easy integration. The start dive plan is automatic and free, automatic for SDI and SSI. Otherwise, you can easily register your diver in your partner portal, and it's just a few clicks that you have to do and a little bit of information you need to enter to register them. We provide unique links as well as QR codes. This makes it easy for you to add us onto your website somewhere. Divers can just click on the link and sign themselves up. You could put the QR code on a flyer that you hang up in your dive center. Especially nowadays, this is what people want. They want to be able to do stuff themselves. They want to just be able to use their phone, scan something, click their way through quickly and get it done. So this makes it very easy. We have lots of other partner resources. We provide you with banners for your website. and also images that fit for different social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram. And again, here, if there's something particular that you need that's missing, you just need to come to us. Okay, so this is the interesting part. Let's take a look at what you could be earning. We've taken some rather sort of average partners. We didn't take any of our really big partners because we want it to be realistic for you that's joining us. So firstly, we have a small tour operator. These are real examples. And it's from the previous quarter. They managed to refer 13 divers to a travel plan, so 13 travel plans, and 8 diving accident plans. So 21 plans in total. And the total cost of these plans was 5,050 euros, which means taking the average referral fees that you can earn, so the average commission of 10% would mean quarterly fees of 505 euros. And that would mean a total annual earning of 2,020 euros. Now, if this is just going by, as I said, the sort of lower end of our referral fee earnings, because with some plans and with some nationalities, if the diver's from a non-EU area, you can earn up to 20%. So you could almost even double this if you have lots of guests outside of the EU. For EU, it's generally 9 or even 10% commission. Small training center, we have they referred 5 travel plans. Now here, I think a lot of diving centers would not even talk to their customers about a travel plan because they're maybe not offering travel themselves. They're a local dive center. The divers come, they dive with them, and they want them to have a diving accident coverage. It does make sense as a DiveAssure partner to also discuss their plans for the year and see, are they going to be doing any diving trips throughout that year? It might make sense for them to register for a travel plan as well as a diving accident. And it's always good to talk to them and let them know that it exists. A lot of divers assume that their travel insurance will cover them for any incident outside of their country. So this small training center referred 5 travel plans, which had a total cost of 1,730 euros, and 10 diving accident plans, which had a total cost of 690 euros, which means they earned a total quarterly amount of 242 euros and a total annual amount of 968 euros. And then we have a mid-sized dive shop. Another partner of ours, they referred 11 travel plans and 15 diving accident. That's not a total of 16 plans. I must have mistyped there. The 11 travel plans had a total cost of 5,170 euros and the diving accident plan 1,035 euros for the 15 plans, which means a quarterly earnings of 517 and 103 euros, so a total of 620 per quarter, and over the year 2,480. Now, the initial startup as a partner takes a little bit of work. You need to learn a little bit about our plans, that you can talk to your divers. We offer you trainings for this. We can do really one-on-one trainings, or even if you want to bring on all of your diving staff, we can do group training with your dive center. But once everything's in place, it's very simple. It's very minimal effort. And the great thing is that we have a 40% renewal rate. So from what you can see here, you can assume that next year when they renew, you're going to be earning this if you manage to refer the same amount of divers again, plus another 40% for the ones that renewed from the previous year. And that continues on year after year. Let's take a look at our start dive plan. This is our plan for newcomers. And here on the left side, you can see what is covered. It's really just a decompression sickness only. So decompression, DCS or embolism. So treatments that need to be treated in a chamber. The assistance is worldwide. We have a depth limit of 18 meters, which is about 60 feet. And it's a great starting plan that opens a discussion with your divers about diving accident coverage. With the start dive plan, you can inform your divers about what is covered, but also encourage them or advise them to upgrade to a full diving accident coverage to ensure that there's no gap in their coverage. We've already discussed that it's for entry-level students, not just for scuba diving, but also free diving. And for SSI or SDI centers, we have an API in place, which means that everything is linked when you register them as a student on the platform of the training organization. We get an automated information from this, and the start dive plan is created automatically. The great thing about the start dive is that it's the easiest referral you will ever make. So let's take a look at that. Assuming you certify 40 entry-level divers in a quarter, and they all receive a free start dive plan, courtesy of DiveAssure. If 50% of those divers were to upgrade to an annual plan, it could look like this. So let's take 20 divers that upgrade to a typical annual diving accident plan, which means the average cost of the plan is 69 euros. That would mean quarterly earnings of 138 euros. If we were to refer these divers to a travel plan where the average plan is 350 euros, we could be talking 700 euros of quarterly earnings. This could mean up to an extra 2,800 a year just from student upgrades. And this is where the biggest gap is, because you see a lot of our partners, they refer a lot of their already certified divers, but the student upgrades are quite minimal. And I think it's just we as diving professionals almost forget to tell our students after completing the open water course, so now you need to get covered, your start dive plan has run out, it's time to upgrade. And this is something we just need to talk to them about and explain why, and we're going to find it very easy to refer our divers to an accident plan or even a travel plan if they're planning some trips. How to make the most of your partnership. So we really need to make sure there's in-shop visibility. It's all very well being a partner, but if we don't make it clear, if we're not talking to our customers about diving accident coverage, travel plans, and making it visible in the shop, then they're unlikely to sign up. Sometimes with partners I see, they just have a tiny little banner somewhere on the website, usually on one of the pages that nobody clicks on, and then they wonder why nobody is clicking on it and they're not getting to refer any divers. The more visible you make it, of course, it should be less visible than your own products, but have it somewhere on the front desk that you can just point out to when people are filling out the booking form and they tick, no, I don't have any diving accident coverage. You can just show it to them, point it out and say, hey, just scan this QR code. You can get covered within a few minutes before the dive. Clear messaging. So not just having visual advertising, but also making sure that your diving professionals, your dive staff, your shop staff are all up to date with how to talk about DiveAssure, mention it during the booking process, in briefings, and make sure divers understand the value of a comprehensive diving accident plan. And upgrades and renewals, as I mentioned before, you can continue to earn extra referral fees every time your divers upgrade or renew their plans. Again, here, of course, you don't necessarily have to put any effort into this or any work. On the other hand, if you do put a little bit of effort into it, you will see the results will double. You'll get a lot more results from this. So just talking to people and saying, hey, make a note in your diary, or even if you send out newsletters to your divers anyway, you could even keep track of this. And when it comes to it, you just send an email, hey, your coverage plan is expiring. Of course, we do have automated emails that go out as reminders, letting people know that their coverage plan is about to expire and that they should renew or upgrade. But not everyone is looking at emails from us, and they're much more likely to read an email from their favorite dive center that has other information and interesting news for them. Referral tips for partners. So here's a few campaign ideas that you can use. Send out emails such as secure your next trip now. If you, as a dive center, also offers trips, perhaps in your low season, you take some of your divers to different countries to go diving. Then when you send out the emails advertising this, make sure that you also include your unique link and refer them to DiveAssure. Newsletters about upcoming trips, dives, and what's happening near you. Add DiveAssure into follow-up emails to past students. So when students have left already, even if maybe your instructor spoke with them and talked to them about purchasing a coverage plan, maybe at that moment in time they weren't even sure they're going to dive again, or they don't know when they're going to be next diving, just send an email with this information again, that they can go back to it if they need to, and maybe by then they've already thought about their next dive trip. Social media is a great place where you can every so often create a story with a call to action, include your unique partner link, just talk about safe diving and divers being covered, and then include the partner link with get covered now, register here, get a quote, whatever it is that works for you. Training staff to talk about DiveAssure. Now, the off season is a great time for training in all senses, training your staff. It's a great time of the year to ensure that your staff are comfortable to talk about DiveAssure, diving insurance as a general. Make it easy. Try to include it in all the booking checklists from the first emails to when they actually are on site and registering. Make it even part of dive briefings, that it's just a little last minute reminder before we go onto the boat or before we get into the water. Just double check and make sure you give us your policy details if you haven't already, so we have them on file, and if they're not covered, then that's the time that they can get covered. You could include a little laminated QR code that you have on your forms when you're giving a briefing, or with your dive maps or whatever it is, where people can just sign up very easily. And register DLP, so for training your staff, to give them a little bit more incentive to actually then follow through and talk about DiveAssure and refer divers to our excellent plans. If you register them as a dive leader partner and they also get something from it, they're much more likely to do so. So part of our partner resources is our webinars. This is something that we started in September last year, and we're going to be continuing on for the unforeseeable future. The idea of these webinars is to help you educate divers, increase your confidence, and provide support, and give information about our plans, help you to come up with ideas how you can improve your referrals and boost your revenue. We also have DLP webinars, which provide strategies to help your professionals convert or refer divers to our plans. And we have our Q&A sessions, which are open discussion format. So you don't need to come on camera. We just we bring on some of our customer service team members who are there to answer all your questions, reveal all. You can use the Q&A function or comment. You just write the message that you want to ask or the question you want to ask, and then one of our customer service team will respond. So this is a nice way to get sort of real information. We have some upcoming webinars for this month. So this Thursday so January the 8th, we have our member webinars. And that's something I didn't mention on this slide yet. We also have webinars for members. So that's a benefit for your divers if they become a DiveAssure member, that they have access to these member webinars where the topics are unlimited. We talk about everything that could be interesting in diving or important, whether it be safety, but also underwater photography. We had somebody last year who came on and talked about maritime archaeology and wreck diving in the Red Sea. We had a technical diving instructor come on and talk about technical diving in Malta. So we have very interesting topics, and we often bring on guest speakers. So if you'd like to join the next member webinar, it's this Thursday, January the 8th at 6 p.m. CET. And the next DLP webinar, if that's interesting for you or perhaps for your dive pros, that's on the 29th of January at 1 p.m. CET, so the same time like today.
And actually, we have one in between for the Q&A session where you can meet all the team members and ask any question. That will be on the 14th of January. So you will receive anyway an email which will give you the link to the replay, and obviously also having the link for the next webinar.
That's right, JC. So I forgot about that one. That's quite an interesting one. So yeah, make a note in your diary if you want to join. Okay, so for anyone who doesn't know about it yet, we're going to just take a quick look at our DLP program, which is the Dive Leader Partner Program. And this is our latest partnership program for professionals. So basically, for your dive pros to be able to sign up, they just need to scan this QR code. If you want, you can take a screenshot and you can show it to them. Otherwise, they can also just get in touch with us and we will help them to register. They will receive their own professional account. When they sign up, they need to mention their partnering dive center. So the dive center they work for, in this case, it would be with you, which means then your accounts are linked. So this is important because for any referral that they make, where they would earn 10% referral fees, the dive center who's connected to them earns 5% as well. So many dive centers have asked us, okay, but then I'm not getting my typical 10 or 20%. Yes, this is true, but you're going to be making a lot more referrals than you were before. And the referrals that you were making through the website, through emails, and maybe even on site at the check-in desk are still your referrals. And this is not something that the dive pro is getting. The dive pro is just getting referral fees on their direct referrals, which is people that they've checked in personally, maybe even through their social media accounts, or during the dive or after a dive, in a dive briefing. So it shouldn't affect your typical referrals that you make. Let's have a look at how it can benefit your business. So a dive center without DLPs earns their typical 9 or 10 to 20% on direct referrals, as I just mentioned. Divers that are not approached do not convert, especially during post-training. And what we realize is that dive professionals, if they don't have a monetary incentive, if they're not actually getting anything from it, they prefer to use the time doing other things or finishing up early than having that little extra minute talking to the customer about registering for an accident plan. Revenue and earned fees are limited to your own referral efforts and reach. Now, many dive center owners or managers have a lot of work to do running the shop and keeping everything going, maybe also with inventory and lots of other things, that they're not usually the people that are talking to the customers. The person who's talking to the divers and checks them in is the one who's more likely to refer them, and that's usually your diving professionals. A dive center with DLPs earns their 10 to 20% on direct referrals as usual, and also earns 5% from any plans referred by your dive pros. But that's only if they're registered as a DLP. Dive pros are the diver's point of connection and trust. DLPs promote DiveAssure on briefings, courses, and boat trips. So they are with the diver and they're much more trusted by the diver, and they're much more likely to be successful. New referrals from divers who wouldn't otherwise buy a plan, and revenue for your pros. So it's a win-win. So here we're just going to take the small dive center from the previous slide that we had earlier, and assume that they have 6 dive pros working for them. So they've registered them as DLPs. Each of these DLPs refers 1 to 2 divers or start dive upgrades per month. And the average plan price for these upgrades is 250 euros. Now, if we just remember back, the small dive center earned 242 euros per quarter, which we'll take a look at in a minute. So in the scenario that each dive pro only referred 1 plan per person, so 6 referrals in total for 6 dive pros, the earnings per month, if they were to if you were to get 5% from this, would be 75 euros, and that means a quarterly earnings of 225 euros or annual earnings of 900 euros. If we're assuming that your dive pros are very successful and they manage to refer 2 of their divers each, so they have 12 referrals in total, that would be 150 euros per month for you as a dive center, 450 euros per quarter, and 1,800 euros per year for the dive center. Yeah, we're not talking about what the pro's earning, that's separate. This is what you as a dive center earns for not really doing a lot, just encouraging your pro to become a DLP and to start referring customers. So if we look at scenario 1, we have the small training center with 6 referrals, which means they have their own 242 euros in direct earnings that they managed to get through the website and through emails, plus the 225 euros from the DLPs, which means quarterly earnings of 467 euros and a total annual earnings of 1,868 euros. If we take the small training center with very successful DLPs that referred 2 plans each, so 12 referrals, the same amount of direct earnings, so 242 euros plus 450 euros in DLP fees, which means 692 euros quarterly and annual earnings of 2,768 euros. So the result is that when your DLPs or your dive pros earn, the dive center earns too, which also drives more upgrades for you, more referrals, and more monthly recurring revenue without any additional work. Let's take a look at this 2026 checklist. So don't forget to review your center and pro coverage and ensure that it's up to date. Register your pros as DLPs and get them earning. Train staff on safety and DiveAssure conversation points. If you're not confident to do it yourself, book a training session with us. Update booking forms and add insurance reminders for your divers. Promote DiveAssure coverage via newsletters and booking confirmations. Come up with an online and social media strategy that includes your DiveAssure partnership. If you have any questions here, if you need any ideas or tips, you're always welcome to contact us. And verify partner links and referral systems are live. This is really important as well, because I've also I go through sometimes and check partner websites, and sometimes I realize that they uploaded a really nice banner and it's in a great place, but actually the link is incorrect. And instead of putting the unique link, they've just put in a DiveAssure URL without the code, so it's not going to them, or even they've put it on without any link at all, so it's not clickable and it's not sending anyone anywhere. DiveAssure partners earn more. If you still need help, then, as I mentioned before, book a one-on-one training for you and your staff with one of our partner service reps. You can just email us, info@diveassure.com. And thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Lily. Quite an interesting way to start the year to review the dive center and partnership opportunities. Don't miss that, because I think what DiveAssure is proposing also with the training and the support is quite amazing, and gives an opportunity for every center, every professional to earn more, and nobody's trying to avoid that, I would say. So great way. Thank you very much. The replay will be available, and we have a community that we have created. So the link will be in the email you will be receiving with the replay link as well. So share it, and we hope to see you also on the 8th of January. The time is at 6 p.m. Central European time, so Paris time. And we will be actually live in Paris, but our guest will be located somewhere else. Scuba Nikki will be talking about scuba diving for women. I think this is also very important, even as a man, to understand. All
Yeah, I'm
right.
looking forward to that. Thank you, JC. And I take it that we don't have any questions. If anyone has any questions, feel free to write in the chat. Yeah,
And by the way, in the community, you have also the opportunity to ask questions. So join the community, and basically you have an opportunity there also to ask the question. I'm just going to place the link here in the chat. And here you are. You can join the community, and then basically you have a calendar there, which will also give you the opportunity to understand when is the next webinar, and you will be reminded also automatically. There are 4 possibilities to use different calendars, so it's quite an active one, and you can contribute as well, being a member there. All right. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you, Lily. See you on Thursday.
See you on Thursday. Yeah, and good luck
Thursday.
at the show.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye, everyone. Thank you.